Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the HNW podcast. It's Smokey Massacre here with episode 14. We got Irish, we got Hunter, we got Vulcan, and we got Snaz. I think Irish and Vulcan both making their first podcast appearance. How y'all doing?
Good.
To date this, it's February 1st, 2026. I can't believe we've made it through a whole month of 2026 already. It's kind of crazy. We just finished the Tournament 30 finale, and yeah, so at the time of this recording, the HNW podcast number 13 hasn't been released yet, but you'll see it eventually. So my first question that I wanted to ask was, anyone share your thoughts on the way I did the premieres this time? So I tried to keep it a secret. I wanted it to be a little bit of a surprise that it was going to be a 2-episode tournament, so I didn't tell that to anyone ahead of time. Obviously, I was excited to see the reactions when run number 51 kicked off. And then, from then on, I was kind of inspired by what Sasuke did, doing the, back-to-back nights, even though those were several hours long. I still kind of, had a fun time with that, and I want to try something like that for myself. So how did you guys feel about the 2-episode back-to-back premiere?
It was certainly interesting. I mean, first episode, I wasn't there for the premiere, but I tried to tune in on my work break and was pleasantly surprised when I tuned in and we're at numbers. I think it was like 64 or something. I was like, oh, okay, so that was relatively interesting. But with how, I guess just with how stacked the tournament was, kind of similar to Tournament 20 as well. Definitely made for quite a lot of good moments throughout. So yeah, it was definitely really, really interesting.
Yeah, I kind of liked it. Like you said, we were all kind of surprised when all of a sudden, we saw Sunny at 50 and we're like, okay, that's kind of an interesting end to the episode. And then, all of a sudden there was an all-star thing, and then it was like, oh, number 51. And it's like, yeah, there was definitely some surprise, I think, from everybody. But it made sense how you announced. Just looking back, we probably should have seen it coming, because you announced like, hey, here's the 2 episodes or first 2 episodes, and then it's like there was no date for episode 3. So in hindsight, we should have maybe put 2 and 2 together on that. But I think it flowed really well. That's the thing too, is like I wasn't sure, like you I know in the past had, like 4 or 5 episodes originally with your 100 competitor tournaments, and then you condensed it down to 3. I think it was 22 was the first time you went to 3 episodes, and it's been this way for a while. And then I guess I know that since I was 49, I cleared in episode 1, so had my shining moment. No, I guess just looking back on it, like you still paced it really well, like it was a traditional 3-episode tournament. Like I think the length was relatively similar. It was just slightly longer episodes. So I think as a whole it went really well, and I'm happy because by technicality I got my first appearance in a finale in like 3 years. So I got no complaints with that. So
yeah,
there was definitely plenty of curveballs in across these 2 premieres. Yeah, starting with not it being more than 50 competitors in the first episode, and then technically having 4 different stages in the second episode, because since we obviously got the last 20 stage 1 runs all the way through to the final, and then just along the way just a ton of curveballs with competitors that I didn't expect to see. I knew some of them, like I was there, for example, for Ree's run, but yeah, just a lot of competitors, so many old faces that were back to compete in this tournament, and one in particular that I think none of us knew was going to be in this tournament, but I imagine we'll probably talk about that later.
No, we can get into it now.
Yeah.
I talked about it. I've talked about it off the mic a few times, but so I had gotten all 100 runs. I had basically finished editing episode 1. I was in the final review stages before I was going to hit export. So I had done all the commentary, all the graphics, everything for episode 1, the first 80 runs. Snaz was number 80.
Am I the only one hearing this?
All 80 runs, did the commentary, did the graphics, and then Buddy messages me. He's like, hey, I can compete now. It was late after the deadline, but I was like, I will scrap one of the randos that I got and replace them with Buddy. and I had to slide a few people down a number, which meant that I had to go back in and re-edit some of the runs. So Snoz, I had to change him from 80 to 79. I obviously forgot in the intro to change his number. But yeah, so it did create a lot of extra work, but it was no question to me about, like, it was worth it. I knew for sure that I wanted to have him in the tournament, and I thought that would be the perfect way to end episode 1. Because the interesting thing was that, actually, so this, I'm going to go into such weird detail here, and you guys just got to bear with me. I'm going to tell you, first of all, why Sunny was number 50 originally. But here's what happened. So when I did the scoring from Tournament 20 through Tournament 29 to determine the final 20 run order, when I initially made it, I did not include Chris and I did not include Cobra because they both told me that they weren't, or I assumed Chris would.
Happening again.
I assumed that Chris wouldn't compete, and Cobra told me that he wasn't going to compete. So I just took them out, and I slid everyone else up 1. So Free was originally going to be 91, and that put both Snoz and Sane at 81 and 82. And then Sunny was the next one. So Sunny, Sane, and Snoz all tied at 14 points. And then I realized that once Weapon Matt wasn't going to compete, I was like, wait, now this is getting all out of whack. So since Sunny was the first person cut out of the top 20 when I had initially done it, I put him at number 50. I thought that was kind of fitting. And then once I realized that, like, Weapon Matt wasn't going to compete, and I realized how little control I had over which of the last 20 were going to run, I was like, screw it. I'm just going to keep it with the true final 20, top 20 scorers, and if they don't compete, I'm replacing them with someone else. So it was kind of a weird... It took me a long time to get to the final answer that I had there, but that's why, like, Snoz and Sane were not in the final 20 like I initially had them. And
I think it was very fitting to have Snaz as the last guy to go for episode 1.
Except I
Almost.
wasn't.
Almost, yeah. He
Almost
would have
was.
been the last. Yeah, he would have
But
been.
if I'm
So
getting
he-
bumped to make Buddy get
Yeah.
in, I have no problem.
So Snoz is
Yeah.
officially the first person not in the top 20 on this list. So
Oh, just missed the cut, man.
yeah, by 1 point. Z and Cobra both had 15. Volcanic was actually at 13 points, but he didn't even compete, so it wouldn't have mattered. Patty
Oh, yeah.
and Eternal at 12. But yeah, that's how we eventually got to that run order. But yeah, so I guess here's my question. I'm gonna, let's say in the future, whenever Tournament 31 is happening, do you guys think I should go back to the 3 episodes that I've done before, or should I stick with this?
I mean, I haven't made my comments on this, so I feel like you can almost do that based on the results for that tournament, right? One of the good things about, and we were talking about this when you walked away before the video started, is one of the good things about the premiere is you don't know how long the video is. If I'm watching it after you put it out, and I'm watching Fireball on stage 3, and there's 6 minutes left in the video, I know no one's getting to stage 4. But with the
6 minutes is a
premiere,
lot,
you
though.
have, but you know what I'm saying. But but with the premiere, you have no idea how long the video is going. You can't have a spoiler that way, if that makes sense, you know, because you can't tell if the video is about to end. Then you kind of know there's not a whole lot more in the tournament. And the other good thing for you is you didn't put the word finale in your thumbnail, right? I mean, so it's hard to tell. So I just like not knowing, like. Generally, not knowing Buddy was competing, to see Buddy compete was like probably the highlight for me, because I'm there watching a lot of the runs, and I just like some surprises, and I didn't think Buddy, and I was trying to help get him to compete at the beginning, and to see him compete when I thought he wasn't was, as much as I was like, you son of a guns, you know, it was, I was happy though. But I mean, that was great.
Yeah, I will
suppose
say.
you've also-
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Someone's
Can
gonna
you go
talk.
ahead?
We're just gonna sit
I'll
here
tell you
and
my
time
opinion.
out.
I'll tell you my opinion. For me, I would say the 2 episodes worked for this tournament because it was the landmark 30th tournament. It put more emphasis on the final 20 competitors, because obviously you'd done the whole point system, and this was supposed to be theoretically the best 20 competitors across the whole of the last 10 tournaments, and then obviously flowing into stages 2, 3, and 4. And also with the way episode 1 ended, as I said with Buddy, I would personally, for me, prefer to go back to 3 episodes, just because it allows like a steady, like 50 runs in 50 runs in episode 1, 50 runs in episode 2, and then the rest of the tournament in episode 3. But also from a viewer standpoint, I feel like it gives more opportunities to highlight certain competitors that maybe wouldn't happen if you were having to squeeze the whole tournament into a 2-episode tournament.
I mean, it's not like I was handcuffed to a time limit. Those are my 2 longest episodes I've ever made.
Yeah,
I was about to say it didn't feel like you shortchanged the way you do your runs at all.
I would say quite the opposite.
You know?
I made more of an effort in this tournament, more so than ever before, to give everyone their time to shine.
Well, let's ask you the same question. 2-point question. 1, from an editing standpoint, is it more of a pain? And 2, just from your appreciation for your videos, what do you like? Curious what you think.
I think the feel, and I get what other people must get out of premiering an entire tournament all in one video. I think for me, the big thing about it was it just became this weekend event where you get to see the start of the tournament and you get to see the end of the tournament all within one weekend, across a 2-day span. Now, obviously, I could do it all in one video. I think I said this before too. The decision for me has always been not to do one full video because I wanted to get more views per video. And if it's just all in one video, then I'm limiting the number of views I get. But because of shorts and because of reels or TikToks, whatever you want to call them, that has completely changed the game for my decision making going into that. And I know that I can get those extra views per video with the shorts, and they do perform relatively well. So I don't feel stuck to that desire to get more views per video anymore, and I think that I just want to create it in the most enjoyable viewing experience that you can get. And to me, I had way more fun watching Tournament 30 than I've had watching any other tournament that I've made.
I suppose you've also got to consider going forward with the 2-episode format, that you're probably not going to get the same people again for, say, like a 31 or 33. Just simply for it being like an anniversary tournament, so it probably won't flows the same as well.
Well, because I can put people wherever I want to put them, right? Like that episode, if in the final 20, like let's say it was tournament 31, and I don't have a big scoring system for the final 20, then at the very least, I put a couple randos in there, or a couple newcomers or something, and I can fast forward them, and we can get through the end of stage 1 a little bit quicker. But yeah, so I'd say this for me, my preference, I want to keep this going in the future. I want to keep doing it like this because I think the fact that it got the tournament out quicker and made it feel like one condensed event versus something that got dragged out over the span of a couple months. I preferred this.
I think a lot of it, and not to sound weird, but what makes it doable for you, you've got a full-time job, you've got a life, you've got, a social life, and it's like, how much more work is it? Is it about the same amount of work, or is doing multiple episodes more work? I mean, what's more optimal for you?
It's one less thumbnail that I have to make, and it's one less audience commentary recording that I have to do, so.
Because to me, I'm indifferent. I'm going to like it pretty much the same either way. I mean, I do get what Hunter's saying. Having 3 videos instead of 2 is just one more video to watch, which is kind of cool. But at the same point, I almost think, why hammer yourself down to 2 videos? I truly believe you can see how the tournament goes and decide what makes more sense that tournament.
I think you're absolutely right. I think that's the best answer. I would agree. It is going to be.
Did you hear that, Hunter?
I should say I was only more so looking at it from a, and I guess also some of this is influenced by my own thinking in terms of like how I as a host edit my episodes, since I'm pretty much the only other person that still does episode formats. Is that I don't know. I agree, Smokey. We obviously said it right. I feel like a vast majority of almost every non-rando fast forward competitor pretty much got their time in the spotlight in this tournament. I don't know if it was just a case. I was looking at it more of a case of like the older guys were really highlighted in this tournament in terms of they were the ones that got the fluff pieces or the profiles. You know, people like Expose got a profile, whereas like someone like I don't know.
Well, and I don't think he normally
Like
does
Cyrus got
profiles
mid-cut and
anymore.
stuff.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you only saw some profiles because it was the anniversary.
No, that's the point I'm saying is that
Yeah.
like because I feel like there was a lot more emphasis put on the anniversary competitors
Yep.
in this tournament. Hence why people like Expose, who was one of the most experienced people competing in
Which
the
means
tournament.
it could have even been a shorter video if it wasn't
No,
the anniversary.
that's the it's not negative, that's the wrong word, but that's the sort of semi problem I'm trying
It's
to
the
highlight
trade-off.
is that by having it condensed into 2 episodes, there's a lot of competitors that were like, oh, I'm really looking forward to seeing, you know, do I get a fluff piece, or you know, I did really good in the last tournament, can Smokey like big me up? And it's like run,
And that's why you
clear,
don't.
run, clear, fail.
Who did
that's
I
it.
not? Who did I not show like what they had done previously? At least you know.
No,
like,
that's what I'm saying. I'm not making it sound like a negative. I'm trying to word it in a way that makes it like
I see what you're
I-
saying. You're saying
yeah.
give yourself room for things that are come about that are new and stuff, and throw it in. I think we
Yeah.
can all agree, and this is not taking a shot at anyone who does one video because they're good, but
Hit me.
sitting down for an over 3 hour video, even though it gets more intense as you go. I mean, that's a long video for anybody to watch. So I think two's good, but I mean, I agree with Hunter. I agree with Smokey, and that's why I say just see how the tournament goes and decide what you want to do. I mean, if you don't have a lot of clears, maybe it's 2 videos. If you just have a ton of success,
you would have to
maybe you
adjust
break it
it.
into 3.
You would have to,
adjust.
if you wanted to keep the 2 episode format, you would have to adjust it solely on the full results of the tournament, because clearly, if you have, if you have a bloodbath on stage 1 in the next tournament, you're gonna be like, let's say you get like 11 stage 1 clears, and then stage 2 does what stage 2 continues to do, and you have very few stage 3 runs. You could probably work out a way to split it so that it's like, 75 runs in episode 1 and then the rest of the tournament.
Or
as
80
an
and
example.
My counterpoint to
example.
that. My counterpoint to that would be what would be wrong with having the first episode be 80 people. It's maybe an hour long or whatever. And then you get to episode 2, let's say 5 people get to stage 2 and they all do really bad, and God forbid the second episode's really short. Like, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
Like, he
I've
now
had
knows
short
this
finales
point,
in
like
the past,
that's
and I'll say this because
Yeah.
like I did a finale for, I guess, yeah, I did a finale for tournament 21 that had 5 stage 2 runs and 3 stage 3 runs, and that was it. You know.
yeah.
So like 8 total runs, whereas in this case, yeah, I think I would have to check. Now there's a few things to consider with tournament 30, and why I think that a 2-episode format would actually be better in any other tournament after this, because I'm probably not getting 62 returning competitors again.
And you're probably not getting
there's that to come.
18 stage 2 attempts.
I don't have to emphasize the
17.
history of the course so much and focus on a lot of the old timers and all that stuff. I can focus more on the current things. Like in this case, I didn't fast forward any of the final 20. I didn't fast forward any stage 2 runs. And I could
And you
have
had 18
17.
stage 2s.
You keep saying 18.
Yeah. Why do I think 18? 17.
And also, yeah,
Put
that's
it
great.
this-
I can't believe I had I can't believe I'd never had 2 tournaments in a row with the same number of stage 1 clears before.
Well, haven't you never had 8 stage 1 clears ever?
Yes, thanks for reminding me.
That's kind of weird too, right?
I put it this
I
way,
like the
whether
2.
it's 2
I like
episodes,
the
3...
2. I like the 3. I'm indifferent because I don't care. I like them both the same. I
Put it
don't
this
really
way,
think.
put it this way,
there's a
it can
big
be 2,
difference to me.
3, 4, 5. Let's just not make it 1, because we have enough one
Yeah, I
episode
agree with
tournament.
that.
Would you consider doing 1 episode though? Like, depending on how a tournament
Well,
went.
I'll say
I mean,
this.
if no one
I
cleared
gotta be honest.
stage 1,
A
maybe.
big reason, a big driving force behind the decision that I made for this, and and why I honestly had such a fun time with Christmas Eve and Christmas in 2025 watching the Sasuke 2-part broadcast. I really thought that was so much fun to me, and I think that's how I want to do it. I think I want it to be something that you can get through it in a weekend instead of having to wait, because the instant that I'm content with, all right, I got episode 1 and episode 2 out quickly. I can take my time now with episode 3, and now it's been like a couple months, and now I finally get episode 3 out, and then people have forgotten what happened or whatever. I just don't want to deal with that. So I think what Sna says, right, I'll see how future tournaments go and kind of base it around that, but I am leaning towards sticking to this format in the future.
Just as long as it's still episodes, because like I said, we got enough full tournament courses that do it all in one video. We need to keep the episode format somewhat alive.
There's also a lot of, obviously I've got Irish and Hunter who both host their own courses in this chat and doing their own style, who have their own opinions. Vulcan and Snas have been doing it for a long time, but there's a lot of people who are just viewers who are not competitors, and those are the ones who I really want to hear from. So I'll put a poll out later on.
Or comment section.
Not to
leave it below the video.
Leave it in the comments below. For the
not
5
to
people
give Elite more ammunition, but if Smokey follows this format, I will not be following this speedy format. I do not have the time to get 2 episodes out in one weekend.
I mean,
how much storage does
I'll say this: I could have
take
gotten episode 1 out several, like probably 2 weeks earlier, but I just,
Yeah.
I held on. Held it in up my sleeve. But
So-
that's enough. That's enough production talk.
Yes.
Let's talk about the tournament.
I want to. Yeah, I'm going to start with a simple question for Smokey. I'm just curious. On a scale of 1 to 10, how happy were you with how it turned out? With who ran, who you were able to get to run, everything.
I've been ignoring this question because I obviously did my top 10 T20 through T29 video, and I don't think that this tournament would take the number 1 spot. In if I were to add it onto that list, but it would easily be in the top 4, probably top 3, I would say. So I'm very happy. Scale of 1 to 10, I'll give it a 9. I did think it was a really good tournament, very fun. My biggest complaint, and it's funny because to me it's a complaint on paper. It's something that when I just look at the results, I think, oh, why is it like this? But when I'm actually watching it in the video, I feel completely different. And that's just how many of the results in Tournament 30 were unoriginal. Hunter failing the same obstacle as 27. Sonic failed the same obstacle as 27. Snaz did the same thing as 28. Joey and Free did the same thing as 28. Eternal and Tricky.
Irish doing the same thing in 28.
Yeah, Irish
I
did the same thing.
do the same thing.
Oh, no.
Vulcan was unique. You had Rog doing the same thing as the previous tournament, or failing the same obstacle at least. A lot of runs that did not feel original. Pedro failing the wall lift again. Sunny failing the wall lift again. However, watching
Joey Free getting to the final again.
Yeah, and having almost like Joey with an identical result and Free failing in a similar fashion. So, yeah, I think that was a big takeaway from this tournament for me. But after watching it back, I don't feel that way anymore, and I am very, very delighted with how the tournament came out. And yeah, it was a fun one for sure.
So what you're basically saying to us is, be original.
Yeah, dude. I'll tell you what though, you guys have no idea who in this chat watched Free's final stage run live.
Me.
Not me.
I was there for Joey's, not
I
Freeze.
think it was just me and Snaz in this chat, dude.
Yeah.
You have no idea what I was feeling when he got to the top of that salmon ladder and jumped onto the final rope.
Yeah.
I was like, this is it.
He won in my book. He had so much time.
I had the exact same thinking when literally, when he got to the top peg and he hadn't made a single mistake and he had like 16 or 17 seconds left, I thought, he's going to do it.
Yep.
I really thought there and then you'd managed to keep this a secret. And
He's probably thinking, finally.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
no,
was.
never mind.
Dude,
I feel like the Frees and the Joeys of like the community currently are sort of like how I'm making a comparison to AMW before the racing format, where we saw all of these like new people getting to final stage.
These kids
and they just can't seem to climb a rope. at all.
I mean,
Same
no.
thing
To
with
be
these
fair-
guys. They just can't seem
Oh,
to do a
no.
final
That's-
stage.
I mean, it's tough.
It is
Yeah,
a really
it's tough.
tough final stage.
And it's not like they can't climb it. It's like they got to climb it extra fast. That's the thing,
Okay,
right?
now I'm not trying to give advice here. I'm just gonna say you don't have to go that fast on that final stage.
No,
Like,
Free
yeah.
kind of proved that. He had tons of time.
He could have got
I-
if he didn't make a single mistake, he might have gotten told a victory with 5 seconds left.
As
I think
somebody
they're
that was
just
there,
fast people in general, really.
as somebody that was there for the finals in 25 and has not been around. Well, actually, I was not there for Fireball, but I was there for Strafe. I think I was there for Matt. I can't remember though. But yeah, that final stage, like I remember when we saw it, and I mean, Strafe almost beat it sight unseen. Like you don't have to be completely perfect to win. Like as long as you have like good fluid pace,
And-
make all the
and-
jumps, it feels like it's obtainable. Like you don't have to be, you know, a speed racer to
And
win. It's
imagine, I
execution.
mean, think how people are now. Like, I think Smokey might agree with this, but I have never seen more people emotional when they failed than this tournament ever. And it's like the nerves of those guys on the final stage. It sounds easy, but you know that's tough stuff. I mean, that's why they're there, and you know they've gotten there multiple times, and they still haven't done it. There's a reason for it. There's pressure, there's difficulty, but I'm not going to name names, but there were some literally crushed people when they failed. I mean, the investment people had in this tournament just shows where Halo Ninja Warrior is at this point.
You can,
to be fair,
you could.
it was really good.
I'll say this: there's two that I want to mention, both on stage 2. First is Sonic. Obviously, he thought he could.
That's
go to
the
final
number
stage,
one of all of them, I think.
And he I think he was in such. I think maybe it was like frustration or shock or whatever after his fail that I don't think he worded it the way that he maybe would have if he. Believe me, I spent a lot of time trying to wordsmith that audio clip to try to make a little more sense, to try to communicate the thought I knew that he was trying to get across, but I had a hard time doing it.
Yeah.
Because
I misunderstood what I think in the live premiere chat. I misunderstood what he said. I thought he was trying to say it's either fail that jump or he was clearing the stage.
yeah.
But it actually sounded like, as I think it was said, that Snarl said
thought
he
he
thought
was
he was
getting
going
the
to the final.
Yeah.
Well,
But
or
in
at the
practice, he was
or
destroying
maybe
that
getting,
stage
or
too.
maybe having a shot at just getting first place in the tournament.
Yeah.
That kind
Well,
of thing, right?
yeah.
And you know, I mean, he's really good. And to be fair to Sonic, I mean, he prepared somewhat for it, yeah, but he doesn't jump like he used to, and he's still
No.
so good.
I gotta
He's found
say,
the
the
Sorry, go on.
one that tears up my heart the worst though.
I think I know what you're gonna say.
I know
but
what
let
you're
me
gonna
see.
say.
It's not. I didn't include the full sound clip. So as you guys know, you get 2 attempts. Sometimes the first attempt is the better attempt, and all the sound bites are
I
just
know who it is.
just you 2 attempts for a reason. It's okay. You can get back
Yeah,
there.
I hate that. Yeah.
And then I have to go and I had to pull audio from the second clip. But the second,
Yeah.
so like let's just say for example someone fails the double pinch on their first attempt, and then on their
do that?
second attempt they fail the
Salmon ladder.
the
or
first
something,
obstacle.
yeah.
Then everyone's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't get the grapple. What the hell? Like, oh, come on, I didn't get the grapple."
Can I
I
tell you
already
who
know
it
where
is?
this
Can I
is.
tell you who
this,
it
This
is?
is me.
Because
This
I
is
was
me,
there.
isn't
I
it?
know exact. Just to prove I agree.
I've
Can I
already
tell
I've told
who
you
it
about
is?
this before. I've said this to you, so yeah, you should know who it is.
Okay. Yeah, it's Sunny.
It's me.
Yeah, it was Sunny.
It's
It was
Sunny
Sunny
Delight.
because,
Who I thought you
Oh,
were
because
Sunny.
when
100%
Sunny,
Sunny.
Sunny's
Couldn't have
reaction.
been
So
nicer.
I include the sound. I include the clip in the episode, but there was a little bit more to it in the real thing. It was the way that he said, "I actually thought I could make it." It was so crushing to me because that was the
Didn't
the
curse at
clearest-
all.
That was the clearest sign of like
Yeah, did better than me.
he saw the finish line. He saw it. He was there.
Yeah.
He thought he was gonna finally do it, and it just
No.
fell short. So
And his second attempt, he probably felt he got a little robbed on it because anyone would under that circumstance. Because his second
Not having
attempt,
those
he
other
failed the
attempts.
first obstacle.
What?
And
So I-
didn't
wait.
blame anyone, didn't curse,
Wait,
just kind of
are
dealt
you sure
with it.
about that?
I thought he failed the first obstacle. I'm pretty certain he failed the first obstacle on his second attempt.
I think I have the fail audio, so I can go check.
I thought you would about
And the way he
because I
didn't
Behind the
curse,
scenes.
he didn't
I did
curse,
the
he just
exact
wish
same
he
thing.
cleared. I might be wrong because I'm an old man. I get things wrong all the
Let's
time.
see, I can
But-
find out real quick.
Because
But
I
I'm
also
pretty
you were,
certain-
wow. Good memory, Snoz. I thought he
Good
failed
job,
something else.
He literally sees the platform at the end for the buzzer and doesn't get it, and then fails the first obstacle on his second attempt.
Yeah, that's tough.
Kind of brutal. And he didn't swear. He didn't blame anyone. He just said, "Oh man, I thought I could do it." It just made you want him to clear even more the way he reacted. That's all.
Yeah.
And then Fluffy's was rough too, because Fluffy really wanted it. But I think Fluffy, I think he just put too much pressure on himself. He wanted it too much.
Well,
anyone who's
It just makes it hard to do it.
Anyone who's in Discord who sees his Discord name knows
Can't beat stage
what is the
2.
thing. What his thoughts are on stage 2.
And I've been through this. I think
there's
there's plenty of people that have been there where it's like a stage 2 purgatory. Like I said this to him.
Right.
Like, Joey went through this. Like when Joey started beating stage 1s and he would fail everybody's stage 2s over and over and over again. Gaming Brando went through this, right? Like he failed everybody's stage 2, and now he just cleared. In my most recent tournament, he finally got to stage 3. He's gotten to stage 3 and a couple others. So it's like there's people that go through it, and it's a little bit of like a mental. It's
But
almost
I'd
more
like
of a
to
mental
just
hurdle
get in your
more than a
If
physical.
you let it get in your
hurdle.
head, it's
I just
Once you
wanted
get
to
it once, it
document in
opens
this
up the door.
podcast
But-
that
Yeah.
I remembered something and Smokey didn't. I just like
I
that
thought he failed the balance
document.
tank, and I don't know if maybe I'm thinking there's someone. Hey, that's
I don't
that's one
think
thing. That's one thing I'll say is the balance tank did not get marked for a single failure, but it definitely took out some second attempts.
Did Free fail it once?
I failed it once on my second attempt. Because I remember I got pretty angry.
not in this tournament though.
Oh, maybe it was just.
No, I did.
Vulcan.
No, in this
God,
one,
I mean,
I
I don't think I've ever
Pretty sure-
watched more
But you
runs.
just said
I failed it on the second
Tournament.
attempt. I didn't get a grapple.
But you
I'm
said
almost-
you just
I'm
failed.
almost certain
You
that
just said you failed the
Fluffy-
first obstacle.
Actually,
No, I
No,
I
he
failed the
has.
pinch on my first attempt, and then I failed the grapple on my second.
I think he has failed the
No.
first obstacle in an attempt, not this tournament.
Fluffy failed the balance tank on his second attempt.
Nah.
So
I
that's
briefly-
right. That's right.
That was
Can I-
painful though. To get in the second pinch and then walk out of the
Yeah,
back
that's
was
tough.
just.
Could
my
your
God.
final obstacle have worked any better than it has? It's really become an issue for people.
I mean,
I can say the same for the first obstacle as well.
Oh
Can I-
yeah, I mean, I'm terrified I'm losing it.
What?
If I don't lose an attempt, I'm happy. You know,
got
on
Irish?
the first obstacle.
Yeah,
I
go
was
on,
going
Alex.
to briefly go in depth as to my experience from the tournament because I feel like I experienced this tournament different than anyone else and probably different than I've ever experienced a tournament for this one.
I want to hear it.
So what the deadline or the length of time for the tournament was the 15th through the 30th. And so long story short, the 15th I was around. And then the 16th, I went out of town for a work trip, and the plan was I was going to come home on the 30th, and sight unseen, I had been on the map maybe once before, run the course. So then my flight on the 30th gets pushed back to where I have to message Smokey, get pushed back, and so then I ran on the 1st, and so this is not to pull back the curtain too much, but you said we can do it. So I get on the course, I literally do 30 minutes of practice, like. Had not done any jumping in 2 weeks, and I'm like, oh, I have no clue how this is gonna go. So I literally get on the course first attempt. I'm nervous or whatever, and of course that was the one that ends up getting used. And I make the first jump, and Snot says something like, "Oh, you beat Mighty Max," and I'm like, "Oh no!" And I don't know, for whatever reason, it just kind of like. I don't know if that was the catalyst that helped me do as well as I did, but
That's funny.
but it was just kind of weird going into a tournament like that where I didn't have a single clue of the results.
Yeah.
And so like I don't know, for me maybe it just helped me kind of just focus on my own run just because I didn't know if somebody had gotten total victory or if nobody had beaten stage 2. It was just like I was completely in the dark on all that.
It certainly
that's
provides-
it's the first time in a long time that I've gone into a tournament where, not only am I running that late or, after the deadline because of air traffic, but like literally I had no clue what was going on. And then that kind of.
And did that
it's just
include
interesting.
when the video came out?
I heard some of the stuff, but I definitely didn't know everything.
See, that's
Like-
the thing. And it's never going to happen because I almost enjoy watching the runs live as much as running myself.
Sure.
But I mean, I wonder what the experience would be if I literally knew nothing and watched
Yeah.
that video.
It certainly
I-
surely added a different perspective for you, Irish, in that you knew next to nothing about any result. Like, this guy steps up, I have no idea how he did. This guy stepped up, I have no idea how he did. And so it probably makes it a better viewing than knowing some of the results or thinking like, oh, have I heard something about this guy failing this stage or this guy not doing as well as I thought he would, and like every run is a surprise.
Yeah.
Irish.
Which is sort of the back was not the backwards opposite. So I wasn't here for the first weekend. I was in Poland, and then after that, every weekend after that, I feel like I saw a significant number of runs. The problem was, as we were watching these episodes, I forgot like 75% of the runs that I was there for, and then I pop up in the background of the audience, and my audio's there, and I was like, oh, apparently I was here for this run.
Yeah.
It's just I couldn't remember any of it.
Mr. Screen Time.
No, it's not as good as the.
Naz always gets the screen time award.
No, I think.
I need to stop talking so much.
What was I gonna say? Irish, if you could, I want to see just for my course the list of every competitor for each tournament who was the best stage 1 failure.
Oh God, I think I'm up to 3 now. Or no, Go Tanks I think fell off the rope right in 25, so I got second to best.
Daddy
and now
Cheese, he also got.
Oh yeah, Cheese
up
is
by
at
like
the top of
half
it.
a
Okay,
second.
but definitely, I think 28 and 30 now. I've won. I've won the losers bracket every day.
Oh no.
Let me. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna run through some of the names. I'm gonna look through, and if you guys have any funny stories or anything that you remember from these runs, just shout it out.
I'll be pretty quiet during this bit. So.
Yeah. Well, first of all, Sakeshi, man, I thought he was beating the fishbone. That was rough.
Great to have him. Always great to have him.
Toxic Rush had one of my favorite runs with the jump hang kai save and then falling off the side of the warped wall.
Free turning up.
Kyle Shambeg, great job getting a personal best. A lot of personal bests in this tournament.
I was considering trying to work out if I.
Everyone's
I was
getting
considering
better,
going
man.
through,
Everyone's
I was
getting
considering
better.
counting
You know
through to see if I could work out how many personal bests there were, but
I can figure that out, I think.
Ooh.
PB tournament.
I do like Kyle. Kyle's one of those people that I very rarely see anymore, but he's always a chill guy, and I always like seeing him go deep on courses.
I have to differentiate the.
While you do that, I do just want to shout out an obstacle, which I don't feel like there's been an obstacle like this really on Infinite. I guess the shoot to an extent, but it felt like such a bloodbath obstacle where this had a fair amount of success and then had some shocking failures. But I feel like the half pipe attack stepped into that crooked wall roll really well. Like, especially like, end of H5 where it was like, people were beating it, but it would take out like a few shocking people in the tournament, and there was like multiple like really good people that it got. That I was pretty surprised by. Killer's probably the biggest one where I was pretty stunned by that. But then there was also people that you just didn't expect. Like Toxic Rush, and others that got by it and had really good runs. So it's just. I love when an obstacle is like very obtainable, but then there's like kind of a wide unpredictability as far as the people that are getting through it. And it felt like, there was a fair chunk of people that were getting by that. I was like, I don't know. It was just kind of fun to just see, who would clear it and who wouldn't. So
I agree. So this is an interesting thing here. It looks like. So I had 62 returning competitors, which means 38 newcomers, which means that all 38 of those people got a personal best by just competing. So according to this spreadsheet, it looks like the number of people who got a personal best that were returning competitors would be 12 competitors. So here's who I'm showing.
Only 12?
Here's who I'm showing. And again, this spreadsheet, I'm putting a lot of reliance on the way that I've organized this. And here's one point of clarification that I think I made in the last podcast, which is, let's say you fail the second ledge of the cliffhanger in one tournament, and then in the next tournament you fail the last transition. My spreadsheet's not going to know the difference, so it wouldn't mark that as personal best. It would only be if it was an actual obstacle further. So I'm showing Maddie the Div, Whirlpool, Kyle Shambeg, Bowling, Toxic Rush, K-Fly, Tricky, Eternal, Galactic, Halo Fan, Caden, and Alex Halo.
Well, off the top of my head, I believe all of them. But in terms of Anyone that we're missing that I can think of off the top
Like
of my
Sonny,
head?
Sonny had more time, but he failed the same jump as last time, so I can't really give
No,
him
yeah, I
that.
wouldn't count that.
Um,
Fluffy failed a little earlier.
Do you want us to stories or things we remember?
Yeah.
This will go behind the scenes a little bit. Bradley freaking kind of funny. So,
his first
so,
attempt?
so,
Oh,
in
God.
case you don't know, Bradley always does something crazy, right, Hunter? On all his tournaments, he always. So he tried on the first obstacle to do a 360 and land on the platform.
He did it once in
so-
practice. I think
So
he did it on
then
his
we
first
hear
try in
this,
practice.
and then he goes, "Well, probably shouldn't try that on my last attempt." And he still did okay. I mean, the guy's so good at jumping. He came in for maybe 10, 15 minutes because he hasn't been around. Oh no!
Someone invite him
And
back.
I'm getting him right now. But yeah, I mean, always rooting for Bradley. And if he did hit that, it would have been such a Bradley thing, right?
It would have been
But,
awesome. Yeah.
But I would say out of all the things, and I take a little credit for this, and I don't kid yourself, Smokey, I saw the G Squad reference in the first episode.
Yeah.
But I helped get, I didn't get him, Smokey got him, but I helped get Grasshopper to run. And he hasn't been here, and he was one of the, we hung out with him more than most people way back in the day. And the best part about it was after his run, Hunter, he probably stayed and watched for 3 hours runs. He was like into it, watching people compete. Like it was really nice. And I'm quite certain unless he's gone, he'll be back. And then the other one is, I mean, is there anyone you're rooting to see a clear for more than Drago at this point?
Oh my god, it kills
And it's
me
so
every
cute
time.
with his kids. I mean, it's so cute.
That
It's
was
great.
painful. That
But it was
Woke up
cute.
the
It's like-
baby is like,
he's-
oh
yeah.
no. Also, sorry, game barred.
That
And
audio
and
was
for
so
context
painful.
for people listening, that's not the first time he's been distracted like that on stage one. So
No.
it's like, and God bless him, he still tries, He's good enough to clear. No question about it. He's still good. It's just when you got that kind of stuff around you, just like an Ajax, the cat or whatever, it's hard,
Just very briefly on the subject of personal bests. I mean, personal best by default, but shout out Ravalis for the best newcomer performance of the tournament at #1.
I know, and then
'Cause
we
I-
still
'cause I
don't
just
know the
checked that out.
results of the best Spartan outfit. Ooh, there's awards coming up soon.
Yeah.
And I think Smokey's gonna announce that next week. I think.
Yeah, I gotta, my memory card filled up, so now I gotta format a different one because I can't transfer the clips off fast enough. But I think we're rolling it. All right.
I'm trying to think of
you're gonna
a.
miss my face for like a few minutes of that.
No,
But
no,
yeah, no,
Oh,
Ravalis. So for the awards, there's two that we already know. We know who finished in first place. It was free. We know the best newcomer. It was Ravalis. Now for the other,
I think we know one more, don't we?
Me.
Yeah, Vulcan. Just Vulcan. No.
the start
Maybe,
level.
maybe from your country,
don't,
but
don't,
not you.
Don't. Yeah.
I know what he's
okay,
trying
okay.
to say. I know what he's trying to say, but
I know what
yeah.
you're trying to say too, but we're not gonna. That'll be formally announced on the awards
Okay.
because that's another.
Are you
that's
doing
another
that
subjective
by
one.
yourself, or do you want people?
I would like
there
people
for
in the
that?
chat.
Oh no.
I'll get in there, and I'll get Irish again.
Yep. Let's keep going through the list here. So, Cyan, great clear, good job. Elite, obviously, first clear. Since
Elite was just
tournament 17.
amazing.
You just look at what he had done on Infinite so far, and he hadn't even. I don't think he had gotten into the back half of stage 1 yet.
No,
So
he got
those
to
are-
the fourth, or wherever the jump hang was in 29. I don't know if it was
I
the
mean,
fourth or fifth obstacle.
even Grasshopper almost, failing the dismount on the, he
let me
hadn't
go in
done
order.
a competition in so long.
Yeah, let's go in order.
All right, Halo fan, fantastic. Only guy on stage 2 for his first time. I love that. I'm actually gonna bring up the list of everyone who cleared stage 1 in tournament 29, and I want to say all of them competed again, and the only ones who failed were Brando, Tunv, Disappoint, and Spenny. So those four cleared in 29, failed in 30. I was disappointed for Tunv. I thought he was someone who could go deep into the course. But
Agreed.
Reed did a great job. Just even getting to the fishbone when it's the fourth obstacle. Now you got to get through that falling plank. He did a good job.
I think, I can't remember how I was there for his practice. I can't remember how well he was doing in practice, but obviously his interview, he was disappointed with going out. I guess technically it wasn't a personal worst, it was a joint personal worst, but...
Yeah, but just having Drago, Ree, and Buddy, and Grasshopper. To be honest, the one guy kind of missing, it would have been nice if but Ump hasn't been around for a little while. I don't know how he's doing.
He was in the last tournament.
But I know you mean, yeah. Pretty good.
Who are we saying for?
I think
for the
if you
anniversary,
wanted the biggest throwback of throwbacks, the one competitor that was missing, you were missing Job. I know that was extremely unrealistic, but
well, I don't think he's even online anymore. I don't even know if his gamer tag's still valid.
I think
maybe it is.
I think it's still Job.
I know he doesn't play Halo.
But yeah, then there was Eternal after that.
Well, let's go to worker meme. I want to touch on Blank real quick. He failed to jump Henkai, and I acknowledge that I did not. He didn't get the best situation handed to him, because when he was ready to actually do his run, I was having a lot of difficulty getting my audio setup working.
I remember that.
He did get iced for a few minutes before his run. How much did that impact his run? Obviously, we'll never know, but I will at least acknowledge that. Eternal Flame, just fast as always. Caden getting another clear. Soul failing the half-pipe attack. I just want him to be stage 1, man.
He's the level below Drago in terms of, I just want to know
but the difference is, and it's pretty clear, Soul's not preparing as much as even Drago. Soul can clear. If he put in the time, Soul's clearing. He just hasn't put in the time.
About Infinite that has clicked with Soul that just never did click on Halo 5. Like
Same with Rog.
Soul just looks a lot smoother on Halo Infinite courses, not just HNW. Any course pretty much.
Yeah. Doesn't he have a first place on the Elite Challenge?
That's true, yeah. He's cleared stage 1 on Irish's course. I think he might have cleared stage 1 on... No, he's cleared stage 1 on Rog's course. The
courses are so tough now, Hunter. You got to put in a little bit of work. Fireball and Joey might not need to, but
I just mean in the case
for
of
the majority of us,
I just mean in the case of Soul specifically. I feel like I might be misremembering this, but I feel like in the first 6 to 9 months of Halo Infinite's existence, he picked up more stage 1 clears than he had in the whole 7-year spell of Halo 5.
Yeah.
And then if you throw into that 3 flying shoot fails in a row, so he was almost getting back to stage 2 on Smokey's course for 3 straight tournaments. So, it's just one of those Soul.
I would just like to make a quick comment, and this is just the state of jumping as a whole. It shows, especially this tournament, how strong the competitor fields are. And I've said this to people, courses that, speaking from my course, courses that I used to build where I thought, okay, this is maybe a 5 to 10 clear tournament, are now getting 15 to 20. The one that just came out,
it's
I
so
thought
funny you say that.
It would be mid-teens, and there's 22 people getting by. Smokey's turn, Smokey, genuinely, I thought you made significant changes from 29 to 30 to make it harder, and the fact that the same amount of people got through, and I would argue that there was probably as many or more shocking failures in this one as there were in the last one. It speaks volumes as to how many people are capable of clearing stages anymore.
It's funny you say that, because we were talking about his medals, his top 10 medal, and I said a top 10 15 tournaments ago, it's now it's almost a top 20 or a top 15. It means the same thing as the top 10 did back then.
Well,
because there's so many good jumpers now.
In tournament 1, you probably only had to get to the half pipe attack to get a top 10.
But you know what I'm saying though. It's I actually got past the salmon ladder, which is pretty decent. I got 15th place, 14th place,
something like that.
Yeah. I'm barely getting top 15.
Tied 9.
Me and Vulcan tied 10th. Fluffy got 9th.
I'll work it all out on the stat sheet.
Fluffy is in 9th. It was Vulcan, Hunter, and Halo Fan all tied for 10th.
I noticed a medal error actually that I didn't come into my head until after the premiere
There's
finished.
gonna be a lot of them, so hit me with it.
So I think it was on both stage, obviously, stage 1 and stage 2. It said I had 26 top 10s, but then I realized I had 3 tournaments in a row, 19, 20, 21, where I didn't finish in the top 10. And then it was like, oh, but hang on a minute. That means I should there'd be another one, wouldn't there? Because that's 26 out of 29. And then it's like I didn't finish in the top 10 in 26.
I'll tell you what I did wrong there. That makes a lot of sense. So, and I caught this for so many runs, just not for yours. It's not as if you're messaging me, I'm not gonna be able to look at it until it's the podcast.
I was just saying we're at 50 minutes.
I can see.
Oh, all right.
He's got a recording timer.
I'm the one recording. I can see but thanks anyway. So what I did for a lot of, like, especially people who I knew didn't have a gamer tag change, I would just go to my top 10 sheet, I would hit Control F, and I'd type in the name. So I typed in the name, and I saw the number 26, so I put that, and that included your Tournament 30 results. So
right, yeah, that's what I guessed.
I had done that early, so that was another mistake on my part.
26 top 10 in 30 appearances, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go.
Yeah, I spoiled it. So yeah, I'm going to have to. Obviously,
there's going to be.
I'm gonna refine my process in Tournament 31.
There's going to be, like, obviously small. This is another example of, like, not speed rushing, but to get it into 2 episodes and, like, try and get it out as together in one go. Is that there'll be little errors here and there that you just can't account for. It's just one of those where it's like, I don't think the boffins in the live premiere chat are going to be calling out too many editorial errors. But just very briefly on Irish's. Just very briefly on Irish's point about the variety of competitors, I do still feel, with the exception of Halo Fan, because it was awesome that we had at least one new face on stage 2, there was definitely still a clear, like, a lot of newer guys were making up the majority of the field in stage 2. I feel like, and I say newer guys in the sense of, like, the Cyans and the Eternal Flames, the Cadens, the Fluffies, the Sunnies, etc. There were obviously people like me and Snaz and, I guess, Flame, because he's been around forever, Vulcan, Fireball as well. I feel like on the older competitor standpoint, the only exception to it was having Elite there. Having someone really old from back in the day getting to stage 2 in this tournament it felt really good and felt like something a little bit different.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of the 17. Based off of what I'm showing, 6 out of the 17 that beat stage 1 had competed prior to Halo 5. It's not too bad.
Wow.
Really? Okay, that's less than I thought. I thought it'd be
Fireball,
expecting
Hunter,
to be a higher number
Vulcan,
than that.
Flame, Snaz, and Elite.
What about Cade? What about Caden?
Prior to Halo 5.
Oh, prior to Halo 5. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Wait, what was?
Well,
say the whole
there you
thing
go,
again. What was that?
Out of the 17 people who beat stage 1, Elite, Snaz, Flame, Vulcan, Hunter, and Fireball are the only 6 who had competed prior to Halo 5.
So we've been on either
Gotcha.
Halo 4 or the MCC.
Gotcha.
Well, that sort of backs up my point then about it being sort of newer. The majority of the
6 out of
field being
17 's
newer
pretty good.
people. 6 out of 17's
I was gonna say
Like,
it's a good
pre-Halo
variety.
5. I mean, Halo
more
5
than I
was
thought. Yeah,
almost 10 years ago.
10, 11 years.
I
yeah,
think the
10
fact that
years
you
ago.
have almost 20% of your tournament from people from 10 years ago is pretty impressive.
I think I just meant in the sense of, like, Elite was the one that really helped, like,
Yeah.
bump that that feeling up of having, like, oh, we haven't seen this guy in so long on stage 2, and it's awesome.
Well,
and obviously, Snaz and Flame haven't been to stage 2 as many times, but they have had a stage 2 in recent Infinite tournaments.
Yeah.
So it was awesome seeing them back again. Yeah.
I'm going to touch on a few more people. We're going to have to rapid fire through these because I still got one big thing that I want to do. And we are running low on time. So let's just see. Obviously, Fluffy, good job clearing. Unfortunately, fell in a double pinch. Drago, man, that was rough. I really thought he was beating stage 1 this time.
Yeah. That's too bad.
Sunny, yeah, we talked a lot about him. Let's see. Alex Halo. Good job.
Phenomenal. Yeah.
I mean, I think
Walnut,
the rough ones.
Ton V, unfortunate.
I think the fails on the half pipe where you made it to the rope. and failed the dismount. Those are
Disappoint
rough.
back to back. And I gotta say,
Those
Hunter,
are
I'm
rough.
so glad you noticed that, Hunter. I definitely did it on purpose. The music cut off for Snoz on the on the
That
half
was
episode
so
because
funny.
Snoz's dismount was a little sketchy.
That was quite funny, I thought.
I didn't realize when I did it I was that close of coming up short.
Yeah, Sane.
But I don't know if
unfortunately,
you
on half episode.
noticed, but when I land on that pole, I do not
The half-
sprint jump. I do not sprint to get off it. I never.
The
have.
half pipe for me did way more damage. I know everyone was talking about it as being this really tough obstacle that people were scared of. I guess it was just because I had my technique nailed down, and I feel like I was like clearing it like 9 times out of 10 in practice. I just never at any point was fearful of the half pipe, and so I guess seeing the amount of fails on it from the people that failed it.
It had the lowest clear percentage of any obstacle on stage 1.
That says it all. Yeah.
Let me keep going. I gotta go rapid
Just,
fire
just
here.
overestimated
yeah.
it.
Rapid fire, keep going.
Sane failed it. Snoz, obviously, great tournament. Way better than 28.
Funny audio.
Regardless.
Buddy, I
Coming back.
really wish Buddy. I thought actually he was having some struggles with the half pipe attack in practice, but I felt like towards the end of it he was really starting to figure it out, and I thought maybe he would have a shot at it. Z Master, man, another person who got the jump, but he just screwed up the save on it. Got a little turned around. We talked about Irish. We talked about Flame. Tricky, obviously, 3rd place.
Yes, that's true.
He's had a very his Halo Infinite results have been very fascinating. Because what did he fail in 26?
The repulsor thingamabob
Yeah,
on
the
stage 1.
thrust reverse. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then he gets 2nd place, and then he fails the final obstacle stage 1. Then
Last
he doesn't
obstacle,
compete,
yeah.
and now he gets 3rd place with the deep stage 3 run. That's pretty awesome.
You picked the right time to have an 18-month gap between tournaments with Cyrus's hiatus for about 2, however long it was.
Yeah,
So
no
he only
kidding.
ended up missing 1 tournament.
That's very true. Mighty Max still struggling with grapples. Obviously, Bryn coming back. So Grasshopper set the record for longest gap in appearances, and then Labrat took it from him.
I have one
21 tournaments.
behind this. I have one behind the scenes actually that I was trying to think of one that I was there for, and it would be Bryn. Bryn sucked ass at the fishbone. He was terrible at the fishbone, and I think he failed it on his first attempt. And then when he got past it on the second, I don't think it was clean as well. I can't remember the run because obviously we've only recently watched it. I don't think it was the cleanest fishbone, but then he got past it, and then got past the jump hang. Yeah, and then failing the half pipe, I was like, dude, you got like almost twice as far as I thought you were going to get.
Yeah.
Like that was, yeah, I credit to him. And yeah, a 21 tournament gap, that's just crazy.
Rog, obviously, unfortunately, going out in the same obstacle again. Bradley, was cool to see him back. Sonic, we talked about him already. Go Tanks and Spenny.
Oh, yeah. No.
Go
That was
Tanks,
just,
3rd straight stage 1 failure. First time he's ever done that. Spenny losing the
Yep.
streak. All right,
But
we'll go a
Hunter-esque.
little behind the scenes on Spenny. This is probably going to be a little controversial. Snoz, you want to tell it?
Oh.
Yeah, sure. So we're watching his run, and this is stage 1. Obviously, we're talking about. So I don't know if Hunter, you know about this, but you know how the falling plank, when you make the jump, you land on the little red piece on the window up in the air.
Yeah, did you
Yep.
know that, Hunter?
So I'm just trying to make sure he understands visually what I'm talking about. So he nails that. He's on the window, and he just freezes. His batteries die while he's standing up on the window. He finally comes back, and when he dismounts, the klaxon goes off. It's a wrap, and it's unfortunate, but I mean, to be perfectly fair, some things can happen that are not in your control, but not having charged batteries, you got to own that.
it's in the
There's
rules,
no one-
isn't it? Isn't it in the rule book? Is it
Yeah.
a controller fault is not the responsibility of
And
the host?
and we were talking about that, and that's when we brought up what happens if your power goes out.
I'll say this. I'll say this. I felt terrible. I hated that. I hated that I had to come down to that. I wanted him to clear. I wanted him to keep that streak going. But like, at the same point, it sucks.
You gotta
when-
be
it
consistent.
sucks when you have those moments where you're like, I need to host a fair tournament, and I can't let my emotions get in the way here. So that's why I stuck with it.
What's the
Well, and
rule
it's
if you
tough, 'cause it's
what's the
like,
rule
where
if
do
you
you-
disconnect mid-run? I assume that's just a reset of the attempt.
I guess
I
in
don't
that
think
case,
so.
in that case, it would depend. I mean, if you are, and again, you could all. I've been thinking about it a lot more, and I'm trying to think if there's a way that I need to adjust it moving forward. And maybe the adjustment that I need to make is if you fail and you claim something like that, that's one thing. But in Spenny's case, he was still on an obstacle, so I was like, what if I change the rule moving forward that if something like that happens, but you haven't failed.
You're clearly safe. If you're clearly in a safe.
I suppose in my case, could you change the mouse and
problem with that
keyboard?
is where do you draw the line, right?
Yeah.
Because, and I'm not saying, obviously, Spenny, that was a sincere error in judgment, and most people are very honest, but, I mean, if you, start saying, well, if your power goes out, I'll let you go again. What if you are a little slow on an obstacle and you go, I might time out? Then you could just turn off your Xbox and say,
That's where there's got to be the trust of the competitor.
Right, but that's where also, where do you draw the line? What happens if because this has happened in basketball. What if Gotank's cat pulls the power plug out of the Xbox? I'm serious, though. Where do you draw the line? It's the
Larry
Pandora's
predicted
box.
16 clears. So.
I love Larry. But, I mean, but...
I did
And to be fair,
how
Spenny
did I
had
predict?
and you could argue this, and I said this today. That's kind of what
I
two
got
attempts
third,
are
didn't
also
I?
for. You have two
In a
attempts.
slight counter argument to Killer's struggles, and this also applies to Chumpy. I do know Killer put next to no practice into this tournament.
Agreed.
So
Yeah.
it didn't really help his. It didn't really help his situation, and I know Chumpy. Obviously, Chumpy is Chumpy with how little he's around on Xbox, so naturally he has limited time to practice. It's maybe not a surprise that they failed, is what I would say. But obviously, the behind the scenes with Killer specifically is
All right.
unfortunate.
All right. We're going to wrap up the last few runs here real quick, and then we're going to go into the next part. This might take a minute. So, Vulcan and Hunter contributing to the double pinch, setting a record. First stage 2 obstacle with
But it's
5
the first
failures.
time I failed it as well.
Yeah.
5 failures.
Oh, first with 5 in a tournament. Really, the
This-
Salmon Letters never got 5 people, huh?
No.
Someone, I think it was Joey. I think it was Joey said immediately after I failed it, oh wow, 30 tournaments, the first time Hunter's failed the same obstacle on stage 2. And I was like, oh really? Wow. And then about 10
That's
seconds
actually
later, I was
nuts.
like, no, but this is wrong. Because then like 10 seconds later, I was like, wait, hello? One of my most funniest failures ever, the metal spin.
You failed that.
Two
Oh,
and nine.
tournament 9,
yeah.
tournament 9.
Yeah, and completely forgot about it until like 10
That's
minutes
crazy.
later.
I never would have known the tournament except it was 9.
All right.
Yeah.
Joey Davis obviously felt the same thing as usual. The last person we'll talk about, and we'll spend a minute on him, is Fireball. Fireball, good lord, kept me up late. I'll say that. I had to work the next day, and I did not. It was another situation where he was waiting till the last minute, and kind of debating.
Him and Spenny at the same time.
Yeah, that's true.
You could argue,
Yikes.
and Smokey was more than accommodating. And at a certain point, he could have just said, you know what, guys? You're either running now or you're not getting 2 attempts. But Smokey was fair to them. But we're talking about 2 guys that, because of where they ran, got an extra week than the rest of the people, too. Right? That's what makes it a little ridiculous. So,
But that's
because
the
of
weight
it, and it's like, put it this way. If Fireball didn't wait till the last second, I can promise you he's not failing where he did.
Yeah. That was a huge surprise. I never, apart from maybe the first
It's his own
obstacle,
fault.
I would have not expected him to. that
And
would have
in
been
fairness,
the last
Hunter,
place
to
I would have expected
Fireball,
him to fail.
In fairness to Fireball, right when he failed, what did Fireball say, Smokey?
He's
His
an
own
idiot.
fault.
But
He should have said, I should have ran last week. It's my own
But
fault.
I want to point because you talked about this, and I agree. I think on Fireball's first attempt at stage 2, he failed the salmon ladder. His second attempt at stage 2 was one of
Oh,
the
the
most clutch runs.
tension. I don't think I've ever felt more tension for a run, ever.
I agree. I mean, well, I wouldn't say ever, but
Well,
it was
for a
top-
stage 2
The
run.
most tension I felt in the last year has been free getting onto the rope climb or on the final rope, no question.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to say, in terms of stage 2, Smokey already had a clutch run the previous tournament with my terrible efforts.
Yeah.
Failing the first obstacle
No,
and
but
then
Fireball,
clearing.
Fireball. Well, here you gotta get the context. First of all, Fireball wasn't able to really practice, right? Because he was so late. He was only given like 5 minutes of practice on stage 2 and 5 minutes of practice on stage 3, and that made him get in the cut line for 2 attempts. But he also said, "Guys, I'm not even worried. You really think I'm going to fail stage 1 or 2? I don't do that." And in fairness to him, he didn't. But he said that, and then he failed early on his first attempt at stage 2, and then it got dead quiet, and you could just cut the tension with a knife when he did the run, and he frickin' nailed it.
It was pretty clutch. All right, so Tournament 30 is in the books. 1,000 straight attempts at Halo Ninja Warrior without a total victory. How unfortunate. All right, here's what we're going to do next. Does everyone have the ability to pull up YouTube right now?
Yep.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Oh boy.
Okay, I was
only can on Xbox.
I was going to release this video tomorrow. It's scheduled to come out tomorrow morning, but I've decided while we're doing the podcast, it'd be nice to get to address it with you guys while on the podcast. So, I am going to make this video public right now.
Oh boy.
Please, nobody start watching it until we're all ready to play it together, okay?
Okay. There has been so for context to the viewers, whilst we're plugging this gap, it could get edited out, obviously. There has been a lot of talk about a video coming out the day after this premiere, and sort of like we're all trying to work out what it is. We're all trying to work out what this is. We have no idea.
All right.
The first time I heard about this video was today. Well,
please, it should be up on my channel now. Don't watch it. Don't watch it. Don't look at. I doubt anyone's commented yet, but just pause it at 0 and let me know when everyone's there.
Yeah, I'm at 0. Yep,
there you go.
At 0.
Irish, you good?
I'm there.
Vulcan.
Hang on. Yeah, I'm here.
Why can't I see it? Halo Ninja Warrior, right?
Just keep
refreshing.
You're gonna have to refresh it somehow.
Halo Ninja Warrior. Boom. All right, let me just reload YouTube. Sorry, guys. I don't know why it's doing that. I'm going to say, the one thing that made me a little relieved is you did say during the podcast, what do you think I should do for T31? I'm like, okay, that's good. Nothing like that.
I love
okay,
the freeze frame at dead 0 whilst pause is just you having a nap.
Yeah, I was sleepy.
Why?
Are we going to hear the common sigh?
I have 3 hours ago one day. Oh, my toughest decision yet.
All right, just click on the video.
Okay.
Are you at 0?
Okay.
Yep.
All right. 3, 2, 1, play. This one hurts. As you all know,
Oh God.
I've been hosting Halo Ninja Warrior for over 13 years. We've done 30 tournaments, 2,000 attempts, 3 grand champions. It's been a tough decision, but I've decided it's for the best that the warped wall.
You're so stupid.
Oh my god.
Well, that is a big change.
Wow.
In every single tournament. It was there.
The music, bro.
Fucking memorial.
The only thing you're missing is the common YouTube sigh that people put when in like an announcement or like an apology
The
video. Like,
music's fantastic. Though.
57 times it's been cleared, which means it's only been failed
39
times.
39 times, wow.
It has a 93.56% clear rate.
96? 96. Wow.
What? 93?
Daddy cheese.
And 93.
Or at least that's what my. Oh no!
Henry, stand up,
I didn't know you were going to be here for this. What it really comes down to is Halo Infinite.
Comedic timing.
The way that the warped wall works, I decided after 2 tournaments, 29 and 30, having the weird angled twist technique. It just isn't what I want the obstacle to be. I don't want the obstacle
just when you thought
technical.
stage 1 wasn't going to be hard enough in 31.
Unless you know the secret, you're not going to be able to do it. I want new people who have never seen an obstacle.
What the hell was that guy doing?
The best newcomer of 29 doing something really silly.
It became something that
That's a unique fail.
Because of that.
Okay, so we're bringing up the hill
Oh
climb.
no.
It's not going to be the Great Wall.
What the hell is this?
Oh, that's a shame.
Oh no! I saw this on the practice map.
Wicked Wall.
Oh no!
Oh, God.
Some broadcasts
I
call it
saw
it
Oh.
on the thing. Holy
It is
gotta
the hill
cow.
climb. I said it as a joke.
Oh my god, yeah.
I was
no,
only
it's-
saying it as a joke.
I like the alliteration. I like that we're going from the wall to the wicked wall. I think it sounds
Holy
cooler,
cow.
But also,
Oh, this is kind
I
of
already
cool.
have a hill climb. It's a different obstacle. I don't want to confuse.
Oh yeah, it's a good point. Yeah.
The viewers.
Yeah, I didn't think about that with Niwa. Had 2 hill climbs.
So tournament 31, you can take on the wicked wall, but you got to put in some work.
Interesting.
To get to it because there is a tough.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
But the tournament 31 course is now.
Look at his braces.
Bookmark it. Go I'm check it gonna, out. It's not public
He's gonna
yet.
edit that bit out.
I'm gonna go make it public right as soon as we're done recording this. And if you're having a tough time getting
What the
Wait, what the hell is
What
this?
the heck?
That's his curtain cling on stage 3.
That's the
It's
fucking.
new.
It kind of reminds me of the
That's a fucking
HNW
black belt
Championships
map.
map you.
That's the bloody black belt obstacle.
Oh my word.
Hunter, do you remember the green course that Hunter had on Smokey had on Halo 5? It reminds me of that. That was on stage 3 with a bouncer in the middle.
It's going to be a fun one. So
Just a moving
bring your A game.
block
Let's see if
instead.
we can make tournament 31 more memorable than tournament 30. That'll be tough. But it's up
That's
to you.
great.
I'll see
We
you
we
in
should
tournament
tell
31.
people it's devastating, and you got to go watch the video for yourself.
Clearly
Moment of silence. Moment of silence for the waterfall.
I mean, it's the only obstacle that's been in every single tournament, right?
Can I
Yeah, I
put
mean-
this in? Can I put this in a Discord and just say like,
No,
absolutely
no,
devastating?
No, let his
Leave it to
video.
Smokey.
Let him
his
do it.
video
That's his
do it.
thing.
Let his video
Leave him-
take
leave
over.
him to Smokey,
I'm
yeah.
going to.
Okay.
We're gonna wrap up this podcast and then I'll go make it public, so then my video will actually be true. But
May I, unless you have a specific topic you want to finish, may I have a quick word? And as the only person to have been in all 30 tournaments.
go for it.
Well, okay. Well, for starters, it was awesome stepping up for 30 times 13 years, being the only one in every tournament, and having now, as I say, watched the whole tournament and seen a lot of nostalgic vibes. The amount of old faces that came back, and just thinking about the whole history of the course, it was a huge amount of fun. My own individual run, I mean, it could have been better, but it was better than tournament 20, so I can't really fully complain. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun to have made it this far, to have made it to 30 tournaments and still be going strong, and to have been on this ride with you through the whole history of Halo Ninja Warrior, Smokey. So yeah, thank you very much as always, and hopefully I can bounce back in 31 and go further than I did in 30. Oh, he didn't hit her anyway.
Alright, well,
So
the-
I'll say something real quick. So in hindsight, I should have seen it coming because there was a group of us that went on the practice gym the other night, and we saw that. Oh well, you're calling it
Wicked
Wicked
Wall
Wall.
thing.
We saw it
Yeah.
was there, and we were like, "Huh, this is interesting." And I actually thought it was going to be a post-renewal obstacle. So very surprised to see it there in the thing, but I understand the reasoning where it is. It used to be kind of like well, I don't know. It used to be technique based in that you had to get the late jump, you had to jump at the right time, and now it's just kind of a matter of how you run into the wall. And I know obviously you fiddled with it. It seems like in every tournament to try to get it to where you want. It's just, I mean, I totally get it. So
Yeah, the best
If,
version of it that I had was a script that turned your sprint off, and then
right, the 28 version.
but that it looked so fucking ugly. Yeah, but to address your point, Hunter. Yeah, no, I'm very grateful that you've been there since day one and that you continue to put in strong performances. Because we've had other people who have been there from day one and they've slipped or maybe aren't as good as they used
Taking
to be.
breaks
But
and come back. Yeah.
but you've been consistent all the way through, and your stats reflect that. Obviously, everyone in this chat has been around for a very long time now. Snaz since tournament 7. Vulcan missed a little bit, but Irish, I believe, has not missed a tournament since he debuted. So
correct.
yeah, no, I think tournament 30 is definitely a great opportunity to reflect on that, and man, it's been a fun ride, but I'm just more excited than ever for what comes next.
I was gonna say there was definitely some concerns of like I think from us when we heard that there was this video and what was going on, you kept it very cryptic, like, you know,
I
is
assumed it was
HNW ending
I
or
assumed
whatever.
it was one of two scenarios. Either something's happened. When you said it was channel related, I came down. Well, I knew it wasn't going to be scenario, but I'll just say both. I assumed it was either going to be HNW was having to take a back step for a significant period of time, which is, you know, just bad all round for the course, or I thought you were going to pull a full 180 on us and tell us that Tournament 31 was going to become a one attempt course, which is just a big we're all fucked moment.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people thought that.
I think
giving
even
them
there
ideas,
was,
I'm very glad
there was
it's
even
not.
a teeny part of me that thought with everything going on in his life, maybe he's taking a break or quitting the course. But at the same point, I really didn't think he was because, well, it's very successful. He loves doing what he's doing, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, after what, 15 years of doing this, I was like, oh, God, I hope not. You know, it just shows you how well received your course is to this day, right?
And I guess this shows the level that we care about each other too, or like, you know, are concerned about our personal life and stuff. But it's like there's some people who are like, oh God, is Smokey okay? Like, is everything good? Like this is some cryptic stuff.
Well, if you want to talk about how
happy
people
it's
care
just
about each other,
the wall being gone.
Look no further than Drago.
Yeah. Oh, for
Yeah,
sure.
Well, I'm sure we're not going to speak of specifics. For those in the know that know, you obviously already know.
But people rallied, right?
Things have happened with Drago that should not have happened, and it's great to see the level of support that has come from the community to help him and his family.
Considering a huge percentage of this community is not that old. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Although everyone in
All
this,
hands on
most people in this party is trying to help get the age up of the older
I was gonna say,
generation.
I'm certainly
I don't know. how I
Vulcan's
feel
bringing it
different
down
about
for
that.
us. Otherwise, the
I'm
average
bringing
age
it down
is
a
shooting
little
way
bit.
up.
I'm bringing it back down a little bit.
On a slightly funnier note, actually, Elite sort of said this in the premiere. It made me feel better about my stage 2 fail because I said in the interview, obviously it was 50 stages I've beaten on Halo Ninja Warrior in 30 runs or 30 tournaments, and he said like, oh, so it was planned to fail stage 2.
Oh,
50 out of
no.
30 is a nice
Yeah.
a nice round number, and I was like, oh yeah, that
Yeah,
actually
but
kind of makes
your
me feel a
gamer
bit
tag
better.
ends with 51, so.
I was gonna say.
If I ever am lucky enough to beat stage 1 again, you'll hear me happier than I've been.
Hey, and
Because
at the end of the day,
I'll reach my goal.
I think the best accomplishment I can still say is 30 runs in. I still have more stage 2 attempts than anyone else has stage 1 attempts. I'm still hanging in there. One more fail and then
I
I'll
would
be
look
level
at
with
it.
Sane.
I mean, 30 runs in and you're still an all-star.
Get your game.
Yeah,
Go play.
that was a lot of work. That was a lot of hard work. I don't want to go into a lot of detail with it. Yeah, but I mean, even if I hadn't got all-star, I'd still say, you know, it's a 2-time all-star. But yeah, I get what you're saying.
All right, I gotta end this this podcast.
Yes.
I had the most technical difficulties out of any that I've had with my
The
camera.
most editing he's ever going to do.
My memory
Sorry,
card's
I was
filling
part
up.
for a
of it.
podcast.
Irish's
But no,
fault.
thanks guys. Thanks
Yeah, I'll
for
take full
thanks for
blame.
tuning in to the premieres
Bye.
both days. For some of you, Snaz, not you. Screw you.
He said
no.
pool tournament was more important.
Thank
his
you
own
for
run.
an awesome tournament.
I wish I
30,
didn't go
Smokey.
now, believe
Once
me.
again.
Yeah.
Once
No.
again, thank you for an amazing tournament 30. And here's hoping we have a great tournament 31
Absolutely.
starting up soon.
I'm going to go make the maps public. So, yeah, Tournament 31 starts on Valentine's Day. Start practicing now. You got till the end of the month. Top 10, final 10 runners have, they start 2 weeks later and have an extra week on the back end. If anyone can't fit into these dates, you got to just message me and let me know, and I will work something
Oh,
out.
God. Did I make the top 10?
And if your flight gets canceled, flying home on the deadline day, also reach out to Smokey.
Yep.
He can try to accommodate.
Please do. But no, thanks, guys. Thanks, Irish, Hunter, Vulcan, Snaz. This is a good podcast.
Thanks for having me, Smokey.
Yep.
Yep.
All right. See y'all next time.
Later.
But
Later.